Hey guys, today we're back for day 16 of the Chameleon build and we're really running out of time, so there's lots and lots to do. I'm not leaving here tonight until we've got some legs and arms ready to go. In the meantime, I'm going to get these pieces from yesterday's video onto the body so that we have a bit more stability through this midsection here. And yeah, let's get started. I'm just gonna use probably like a touch of glue to get this in place, and then we're gonna get it welded over there. Basically just going for the middle of here and then whatever point it actually gets into contact over here. I'll just glue it to this non-weldable part. Yeah, so the glue's obviously not very strong, which is just making it difficult to sort of hold this in place enough that I can weld it. Oh, this is just going poorly. Okay, I think what we're gonna have to do is get it go portable. Here goes nothing. It's being held in place just by a bit of sort of heat bonding, but it's not actually welded yet. We've got one weld in place now, which means we can work on getting it everywhere. It'll still be really weak though, so I'm just gonna do that probably while it's still here rather than picking it up first. Ooh. Time to actually get these welds strong. Now that the piece is as heavy as it is, it's a nice combination of technically difficult, mentally difficult, and also physically difficult to get a really stable, good position for the weld, hold it there through the microscope and not like move about as you're doing it. Okay, right, that's nice and securely in place now. That's not gonna fall off, but I still wanna make it a lot stronger than this. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start actually tack welding pieces in place. That way, I don't have to switch between the sort of lights off welding and this. So now that's not a sort of proper weld, it's just current basically gets run through the two electrodes, and where the current meets between the two metals, it's get really, really hot and it sort of melts a little bit together. It's really weak. I could like knock this off if I wanted to, but it holds it in place long enough that I can actually then go in and do the arc welding. It works quite well for these small ones because they don't need to be held that strongly in place. Whereas something bigger and heavier, a really weak weld is actually not gonna hold it there. It will just fall out. Okay, so we've got some good points of connection here, but we definitely don't need more down here. Oh, yeah. One annoying thing about using these speakers is they're magnetic, so I keep picking up small bits of metal whenever I like try and move them around. But worse things happen at sea. Getting some really beautiful color come out on this piece. From this angle, it's like all greens and purples. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but it's really nice. Yeah, so saying this finger here is actually surprisingly important for keeping this stable. Oh, Jesus. Okay. We probably need one coming off this way. We've got like lots of support pulling back, but not really going the same direction. So I better do something. Oh, that would probably be really good. I just don't have a good way to weld it from underneath, unfortunately. That feels like the most logical place to add strength. Yeah, that's a shame. I suppose I could if I cut this. Let's do it. See if this is the right angle, if I've completely, but Jesus! Oh, that was so hot. Ow. Whew. Okay, that end is very hot, just as a note to self. Okay, that should work. Is that still hot? Whew. Right, there we go. So again, we'll just tack weld this on, I think. That's not work. Yeah, I just twisted, so it wasn't quite the angle I wanted it to be. Let's try it again. Brilliant. That's frustrating, isn't it? Oh my God, if that happens one more time. God, I'm really struggling today. Oh, God, didn't even work. Well, this is tack welding for you. It's pretty hit and miss. Okay, now let's get that actually welded in place. Come on. Okay. Let's go do the one on the other side. That is why we want like as much of this kind of metal on this piece, because it just makes it feel like a chameleon. So we've got both sides done now. It's pretty strong. You can actually like lift the entire piece up just by that. So that's good because it's very, very heavy. As I've said a million times now, I'm going to take a little break from welding and start working on the display. We need to clean up some of this, taking some of the stuff out, things that we might want to use in future builds, and then get it all prepped and figure out how I'm actually going to be attaching that to this. Okay, time to try and get these out. I think I can just hammer them out, to be honest. Okay, I'm going to put this on the floor and then hammer these guys out and try and do it so that I don't actually damage the structure of the sides too much. These are all the ones we were able to get off. I just think they're really unique pieces, and I think they'll look really cool being added onto the skin, almost like tiny little scales. And it also helps that they're all slightly different shades of colors. So I figured out that I'm basically going to be mounting this part directly onto that sort of base structure. So I want to do a little bit of work strength wise down here and just make sure that this whole section is really, really strong, because there's actually not that much in terms of like actual metal holding this together. And then we're going to fill in a few bits on the top. Basically, when I go to actually attach the legs, the arms, the tail and the head, I'm not going to be able to do any more work on the pieces individually under this welder. So while I can still move this all about and pick it up and things like that, I need to get that basically done so that way I'm joining a finished leg to a finished body. Okay, it might not look it, but it's a lot stronger. So we're all good on the underside. I'm completely happy with that. Now we're going to start adding some metal onto the top side just to bridge that gap. Okay, it continues to get heftier and heftier, but we're basically trying to think of the best way. So okay, that should work. I just want to get this bit slathered in a little bit of metal, also probably this top side. We basically got a blank section here and a blank section here, which we need to cover with skin, kind of like we did here. I'm not going to go for the same type of metal because I want you to be able to see through it a bit more. So I want something with more interesting shapes and holes. I think the difficulty is going to be trying to find pieces that are vaguely symmetrical. So we're just going to do our best and see what we can come up with. I'm going to put that there because the last time that I left this unattended on here in that position, it just rolled straight off, which was bad. So yeah, basically what I want are things like this. This piece is great and would be perfect. It's just a real shame that I don't have more than one of them, but it works really well in this sort of predetermined space that we have. And I would sort of add that on in a heartbeat if I had another piece to go along with it. Because I don't, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. Do I maybe modify this piece, cut it a bit, but then I just don't think that will work very well. Yeah, I mean, that does look really cool. Oh, okay. I would need to figure out a way to get another piece of metal to basically do what that's doing. How I'm going to do that is a whole another question entirely. And then I will still need another smaller piece to go across there. See, I really like that piece because it feels like it fits, but then these other parts, I just don't really feel like they do. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we have this as like a stripe. I can do the same thing on the other side because I've got another one of these. So that's definitely going to go in on both sides. And it's annoying because if I had cutting capabilities that I could do with, gaps like this, I would be filling with this metal, ideally, just to get that like pop of color across there. I mean, we will be doing a lot of circuit board to fill in some of these gaps and things like that, but it would just be really good to get some sort of metal working along that frame. Oh, that's great. So I've just realized that I haven't been filming and I've been talking and chatting and walking you guys through attaching this and the various issues that we had for like half an hour, but hadn't clicked film. So yeah, it's on, I guess. That's as much as there is to say about that now. Oh, I really thought that was gonna work. Right, that's really weakly attached. Let's quickly switch this over to arc welding and get it sorted. Oh, I have plugged in the wrong electrode, God. Just really not my day today. Come on. I'm not getting these to join properly. They're actually more in contact. Let's see, maybe if I can do this. Okay. Well, now the question becomes, can I hold up this entire thing with one hand well enough to hold this in place? There we go. Whew. You just need that one weld to get it in place, and then after that it's smooth sailing. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. I'm just struggling to get it in place on this side. This is just, again, this is the problem of it being so big and I don't have much space to maneuver it around without the desk getting in the way. Okay, whew, it's looking pretty cool, I'd say. These minor gaps I might fill up with like the odd little things, some circuit board, maybe even just, you know, the odd like washer or something. It doesn't really matter. That's not going to be that important in terms of how it looks. That's mainly all that we're going to be working with. The other side, obviously, we've got the same part there, but we have this big void that we need to fill here. And I'm not 100% sure what to actually fill it with. Could do something like this. It wouldn't be as nice as the other side. Kind of similar to what we want in terms of how much we're actually covering. Part of the problem with this piece is that it doesn't bend into the shape we want all that nicely. I mean, that could work too. I just don't think it looks as natural. It kind of does look like just an added on piece. Maybe if we bend this bit here so that it will slot underneath here. Okay, all right. I'm not hating that, actually. That gives us a better interaction with the rest of the parts of the piece. Right, let's see, I guess, what it looks like compared to the other side. Ah, yeah, see, that just looks so much better than this will. This is the difficulty of working with found materials, though. You just don't know if you're going to be able to get the same parts, and it makes building symmetrical things difficult. I'm going to go through some of my materials and see if there's anything that's a bit better than this piece that we've randomly trashed for no reason now. I looked, couldn't find anything, so instead we're just going to chop this into roughly the same kind of shape as that. So hopefully it looks all right, but I'm going to go do that now. I wonder if this is thin enough that the scissors will be able to do it. Oh. Yep. Oh, it's not easy though. Oh my God. Okay, come on. Just a tiny bit left to go. Oh my God, that hurt. Oh my God, that hurt. Oh, I like pinched my finger in between something, but okay. There we have it. Looks pretty rough, but I'm gonna just go sand it down to make it look a little bit neater. Okay, there we go. Let's see what this actually looks like then. I know I've said it a few times, but I cannot wait until this project is done and I can clear this workbench and not have just like stuff all over it. Could look worse, for sure. I think maybe I'll also do a similar thing and cut the edge off here. Just something like there to there. Okay, let's hope it's not as painful this time. Oh, actually, do you know what? It needs to be bent a lot more, similar to the other side. Yeah, Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. There's a slightly annoying notch here that means I can't get it into the into the position that I want, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. I think that should be enough. Oh, I don't think that was enough at all. I haven't even done it in the right place. What was I thinking? I'm just gonna freehand this, I think. I think that should be enough. Okay, it's not quite enough. Come on. That'll do it. It's good enough for me. And there we go. I'm just gonna strengthen up all those welds, get it attached properly, and then I'll check back in. Great news, I've just run out of electricity. Yeah, everything just turned off like a minute ago. It's 11 o'clock at night, so I'm not gonna be able to go and buy any more electricity cards right now, which I guess means I'm calling it a night here. I know that I did say I wouldn't be leaving here until there were legs and arms built. That hasn't happened, but we have got a lot done of the body. I'd love to turn the camera around and show you, but I think it's going to look absolutely terrible in this lighting, so you're going to just have to take my word for it. If you're enjoying the build so far, leave a like, comment, ask anything that you want, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.